Good afternoon and welcome to another Wednesday Network Educate Invite session. Today we've got Allison Ockenden. Give us a wave, Allison. Okay, affectionately known as Allison Maree, and she's going to be working with us today and doing us a presentation on how to inspire ownership from your team. It's great to have everybody along. We've only got a couple of these left until the end of the year. And we've got people just turning up. Here's Colin Lee from Inspire Reality. So your mate turned up, John.
I was getting a bit worried.
Okay. So, hi, Colin. He's not connected to audio yet. All right. So as we said, so we're going to record this in case anybody can't actually see what Allison's going on about, and we can actually put it up into the network as with all the others. And I think we've done about 23 so far this year. So there's plenty of educational topics in there for people to have a look at. So as usual, what we're going to do around the grounds. Everybody introduce themselves, say who they are. Please remember, this is not a networking event. This is just to say who you are and what you do. We don't ask for referrals. That's what we do on a Wednesday morning. So I'm actually going to start off with Allison.
Oh, but you would have done me last.
No.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Allison from Allison Maree, and I am going to be your speaker today. I am a Femme Core Mentor, and I help women especially understand their energetic shifts that they go through. And I also help their husbands understand their wives. And in the case of Jason, when he first learned about this, I can potentially save you a house and a divorce. So that's what I do.
I've lost a lot of those. I just need a solicitor on BBX and I'm laughing. You know? Thank you, Allison, and we'll hear more from you very, very shortly. Who we got next on my list? Jetta. Hi, Jetta.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Jada. So I am Jason's executive assistant.
Okay, so everything you see that actually goes on here, Jeda's making sure it's all crossed and saved and everything in the background does a wonderful job. So thank you for that. Hi, Martha.
Hi, everyone. My name is Martha Moore. I'm a super confident coach. I help women to be taking off their masks and finding their confidence again. And despite that, whatever is going on, we are all allowed to actually shine from within. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Martha. Afternoon, John.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is John Ferrer. I am the Business Development Manager for Be Connect, and I work with Jason, bringing in businesses in.
That's it. Nice and simple. Okay. Alan. Everybody know. Alan. Steve.
You ended off with Steve. Yeah. Okay. Alan Stevens. I'm a profiling and communication specialist, which is all about helping people read other people more effectively to improve the relationships that they have. I'm also the creator of the hashtag We Together and the Campfire Project, which is a safe place for men and women to be able to come together and share their stories and join in panel discussions about issues that are affecting all of us in our community today. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. Hi, Jill.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jill Maghanoy. I am the executive assistant of Jay.
So I've got two, because as people know me, I've got lots of little fingers in lots of different pies, and I'm too lazy to do it myself. And these wonderful ladies take care of all of that. And they're actually inspired by somebody that unfortunately couldn't be with us today, Kel Holiday, but he's very active within the network. So hi, Jill. So Juliana.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I'm actually a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner by trade, but have been pivoting the last couple of years now and going into more online coaching. But I'm a very passionate zero waster, so I'm going to look at starting a zero waste consultancy in the near future as well.
Nice, thank you. Can I quickly ask before you go back onto the mute? So how did you hear about us?
BBX.
Oh, but there you go. Beautiful. Yeah, I did my job. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So, and then we've got Colin, first timer. Hi, Colin.
G'day. How are you, Jason?
Good, thanks. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Colin.
Well, I got to know BBX from John, and I thought I'll check it out. But yeah, I'm a property advisor and a buyer's advocate, helping my clients to create wealth, essentially through building a profitable property portfolio. Helped over 300 individuals and families with over 170 Google reviews. I like to think I know what I'm doing. Love what properties have done for my life. I've helped a lot of people, on their journey to become financially free so they can do more of the things that they love. with the people that they love and live a bit of life. You know, it's not all just about work.
Oh God, I love that. That sounds absolutely fantastic. We need to talk. I believe you actually want to have a bit of a catch up at the end of this as well, Colin. Is that correct?
I think so, Jason. If you
Yep,
have time,
fantastic. We'll do that. Thank you very much. And last but not least, Anna.
Hello. So I am a marketing and events consultant, facilitator, and coach. I work with business owners who are looking to build their brand reputation and revenue through email, social, and online events. And I run programs to facilitate this. And Allison has actually just completed one of my programs. It's called the Niche Industry Influencer Program. And we've got a summit coming up on Saturday where Allison will be speaking with another 9 niche industry influencers. So it's a really fun journey.
I think one of those is Margie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yep.
Margie was with us this morning on
go.
working things. So now, just to give people a bit of a heads up, I've invited Anna here because I love what we're doing. Everybody's enjoying what we're doing. I want to try and give it a little bit more wow as well, because I don't want to get stuck into a boring format. Let's face it, we all go to networking events and stuff like that, and we go by the end, we're like, oh my God, it's the same crap. So there's kids in cars. It's the same crap at the end of every single session. I want to wow it up, and this is where she specialises. So I've got to come along, and she's going to tell me in the next couple of days how bad it is and where we've gone wrong. All right?
Great. Or how good it is and where you can improve.
Well, give you a heads up. We normally have about twice the amount of people here. Something's obviously gone on today because our networking session this morning was low, and I think maybe it's because we're coming up to Christmas and everybody's busy and it's starting to slow down. Because last week we had 25 on this session, and normally we're pushing that 20, but to be here with 10, yeah, it's not where we normally are. So, but there's obviously people are getting busy, but yeah, we will reach out towards the end of the week. I digress. All right. So look, thank you very much for that. So what I quickly want to do is give people a heads up of other stuff that's actually going on. So the people that were with me this morning are already aware of this. We're in a situation now, we have members on every continent, all right, apart from Antarctica that has a 0 population. So we have them in Africa, we have them in throughout Asia, Oceania, both the Americas and Europe. I think that's covered all of them. So we're really starting to expand. And over the last couple of days, I've been doing a lot of work with a networking group in the UK called Biz Social, where we're just in the process, we're just signing off on a strategic partnership, which will allow us access to all of their members, and their members will all become members of Network, Educate, Invite as well. And given the fact that the majority of people here are working in an industry where it's online delivery or via Zoom and that sort of thing, it's going to open you up to a massive market over there in the UK. So that's a nice thing that's going on, really, really good. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to time 1:15. I'm going to hand over to Allison. It's all yours. Let us know how to control our team, please.
Okie dokie. Let me share my screen with you. And hopefully everyone can see my gorgeous face. And a welcome. Can everyone see that?
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you. Trying to move this so I can see everybody right next to me here. Okay, so thank you for coming today. Yeah, there was supposed to be some more people, but I really value everyone's time. So thank you for coming and spending your afternoon with us here at NEI. Now, what if I could show you how to become a brand equal to Google when it comes to how they value their staff and how that translates into their bottom line? Sound good? I say yes.
Sorry, I was on mute. Yep.
For the men in the room, what if I could translate the book, How to Understand Your Wife and Teenage Daughter, that we all know is over 1 million pages, throw in how this can also help in understanding how to communicate with female staff members, and wrap it all up into something that's not only easy to understand, but I'll even explain it using company structure terms, since we're all business people here today.
Sign me up.
For the feminine chord of us among us today. I'm going to introduce you to 4 women you've lived with your entire life, but have probably never met. I will explain how each of them work together to keep us moving forward in life, and also explore how to hack these modes to get the most out of every day, both personally and professionally. So as Jason said, my name is Allison Maree and I am the Femme Core Mentor. I am a mum of 4, ranging from 21 to almost 5. I am also a boxer fur mum and a grandmother to a 2-year-old little boy, and I have my 2nd grandchild due any day now. It's very exciting and very on edge, but we're excited. In 2020, I became one of only 35 certified soul modes mentors in the entire world, which is extremely exciting. And there won't actually be anyone that is taught to our level ever again. We are the only ones that will have this title. Now, you'll hear me say women a lot through my teachings. However, my framework also resonates for those part of the LGBTQAI+ community that are led by more their feminine energy, more so than their masculine, even though we all have both within us. Having said that, before the men in the room tune out, remember I said I'd give you some cheat codes to understanding your wife and teenage daughters. So don't lay back and dream about being back on the golf course just yet. Now, let me start by telling you why I'm so passionate about soul modes and the tipping point that sparked a knowing within me that I just had to share this with the world. The story I'm about to share is an emotional one, and while my aim isn't to trigger anyone here, it is why I started this journey and why I'm determined to share this. And it's not just something I talk about, it's something that my family and I live each and every day, because what I preach saved one of my children's lives, literally. Now, this is my gorgeous babies and my grandson, who I'm a little proud of, because I grew all of that. And I don't know how I made such good looking children, but that's my superpower and I'm owning it.
Got a good looking husband.
Where? Oh, I did. Well, yeah, I did. Yeah. I mean, I guess he contributed a little. Now, for 2 years, I woke up every day wondering if today was the day I'd be called to identify my son's body, a fate I wish upon no parent. Let me start from the beginning. Let's go back to 14. My son came out as gay. My reaction to the text that he sent me from his bedroom all the way across the hallway was simply, great, now have you taken out the rubbish yet? Many tears of relief for getting it out ensued from both of us as he came in for a hug, as you can imagine. And for anyone wondering, yes, he had taken the rubbish out. At 16, my son was groomed by an older man. Now, due to a storm of some diagnosed and some undiagnosed mental health issues, combined with teenage hormones, this man managed to convince him to move out of home and in with him, flashing all the pretty shiny objects and using all forms of manipulation. And this was the beginning of the end. This 20-year-old man, over a period of a few months, convinced my 16-year-old son to move in with him, and before long got him hooked on drugs, the worst of which was ice. His whole life he'd been taught how bad drugs were and how not to touch them, and all of the things he needed to prevent him from this fate. But he fell into this trap thanks to a combination of many things. It was just the perfect storm. To cut a long story short, after many suicide attempts and manic episodes and other horrific events, he did come home to get clean for the second time at around age 17. While at home, I asked him some questions around soul modes to see if he identified with it at all, and he sat next to me almost in tears as he expressed he felt all of the things I was describing to him. Now, using and working together using the soul modes framework, we then kind of developed a custom program for him to get to know himself, to learn to understand his emotional highs and lows, discover who he is at a soul level, and begin to love that person again. Now, all of this led to him being able to tell the difference between a wild mode and the onset of a manic episode. And this has enabled our entire family the luxury of being able to breathe a sigh of relief and to relax again. Where once his depressive moves meant I had to shadow him like a toddler to ensure no self-harm, he'll now come say, "Mum, I've hit bear mode." It has given us an entirely new language to use, and for him to understand himself and no longer be afraid of the self-harm and manic episodes that his bipolar would bring with it. Now, fast forward a year and on round 3 of detox, and I'm so incredibly proud to say he's been clean about 19 months now. He has started his own business and he's killing it. He's confident, he's proud, and he is looking to his future, a future beyond the age of 20. A milestone that at 17 years of age, one of his doctors asked about his expectations of his life. And his reply was he didn't expect to reach 20. It's now been over 19 months since his last running episode, and he is calmer, more confident, and thriving in life as he was born to. Sorry, I'm talking too much. So while we were going through this with my family and fighting COVID, I soon realised that the principles we were implementing in our home were also relevant while I was wearing my business hat. So let me take a minute and explain to you what soul modes are. Soul modes consist of 4 modes, one being wild, then bear, super, and then sparkle mode. Now, all of these modes work together, but let's look at wild mode for a little bit. Now, using the business analogy, she is the CEO, she's the boss, she's the big picture thinker, she's very high energy and fearless. She's logical and not detail-oriented in any way, shape, or form. Get in her way and interrupt her when she's in the zone, and look out for the lasers that will shoot from her eyeballs. Next comes bear mode. Now, she's the board of directors. She will bring all of the bottlenecks up when it comes to either a business decision or in life. She will bring up every single possible outcome and all the questions that need to be raised. How will the idea be funded? Can the current teams handle the extra workload? And once that's all worked out, gives the approval for the job. On a personal note, she brings up feelings of self-doubt, self-hatred, fear, and is a very low, sometimes depressive energy. She'd rather be at home, under a blanket, eating ice cream with Netflix than to do anything else. Next comes super mode. Now, she is the operations manager. She plans out the project, sets the budget and time frame, and delegates all the jobs to the appropriate departments. She's all about spreadsheets and organisation. And on a personal note, you'll notice that she's all about meal planning, organisation, meal prep. And she's generally the mode that you're in when you go and sign up to the gym, because you're going to go 5 days a week and get up at 2 a.m. to make sure that you fit that in. And she's very high energy. Sparkle mode comes next. Now, think of sparkle mode as the head of people and culture. She's a little airheady sometimes. She's the one that remembers all the team's birthdays and everyone's partners and children's names. She ensures everyone feels valued and appreciated. She's the head of design and likes to make things nice and pretty. Personally, she is all about connections, affection, and relationships. That being with your partner, your kids, your colleagues, and friends and family. She's the one that will take the time to do her makeup one day where she maybe wouldn't normally. And she'll wear that dress that she knows looks great on her just so she feels pretty and likes how she presents herself. She's the one that will crave social interactions and will make the effort to show her feelings towards those around her. Now, these modes always go in the same order, that being wild, bear, super, sparkle, and then back to bear. How long we spend in each of these modes depends on how quickly we fill our cup in each one, and what it takes to fill that cup is slightly different for everyone. By understanding this pattern and how each mode affected me personally, I was able to apply this in my business life. I no longer wasted hours of planning things that weren't immediately needed or flittering around trying to make things pretty when I just needed to get the work done. Once I began tracking my modes and figuring out how they affected my moods and energy levels, I could then plan tasks based around the mode I was in, doing my big idea thinking in wild mode, figuring out all the roadblocks and how to overcome them in bear, and planning and delegating all of the things I had to get done in super mode while prettying everything up in sparkle. I no longer felt trapped at my desk and like I was working endless hours and not seeing any results. I worked with myself, my modes, and my energy to get all of the tasks done at a time where they actually lit me up and got me excited instead of forcing productivity at times when my time was better spent elsewhere. I was able to maximize my own productivity, finishing all my tasks on time, but at the end of each day was feeling energized and feeling really accomplished and like a boss. As well as the story above, it fits on a personal level when it comes to business, specifically women in business. My framework can do the following. I can help you increase productivity by knowing what mode you're in and how it feels for you means that you can do certain tasks in certain modes that will fill your cup and make doing that task actually feel good. It'll give you a sense of accomplishment, even on those days where you may have spent most of it in bed watching Netflix. Not only will this transform the way you organize your work schedule to increase your productivity, but having this as part of your company culture and leadership training will give multiple rewards. Your staff will feel valued and understood. And by knowing what mode your team members are in at any given time, you can ensure that the tasks, and especially the time-sensitive ones, are delegated to staff members who will take the task on in a positive way and meet those deadlines, will actually improve their mood, their self-worth, and their confidence, not add pressure and have a negative effect. Of course, there are times where you just need to get shit done, but overall, you'll be able to plan out your time effectively to maximize your efficiency. Now, why is any of this important, I hear you asking? If you have multiple staff, you will be able to, let me start that again. If you have multiple staff, this will allow you to know which staff member to give time-sensitive tasks to based on the mode that they're in during that workday. If you have limited staff, you'll understand how to use compassion and leniency that gets the job done while looking after their mental health and well-being. In a 2014 study by TNS in connection with Beyond Blue, it showed that 1 in 5 employees reported they'd taken time off work due to feeling mentally unwell over the previous 12 months. Due to someone breaking the entire world, these rates are expected to skyrocket as people transition from working at home back to the office. According to a report shared by the Australian Unions Organisation this year, up to 45% of mental health problems experienced by working people are attributed to workplace conditions. And initial data is confirming a rise in mental health issues since the pandemic hit. And it's anyone's guess on how these figures will go as people do transition from home back to the office. My framework is designed to reduce the number of mental health days taken by your team members at full pay, where you get zero productivity if they're at home doing nothing. Having staff that are struggling mentally or emotionally, yet feel their work environment is a safe, supportive space, and that their team leaders understand this framework, will maintain some levels of productivity. As the employee, knowing your workplace understands life has its ups and downs, and that as much as we try, sometimes we can't help but let it affect our work life on occasion, is priceless. Knowing your company acknowledges that going to work on a day you'd rather be at home in bed is likely to be a less productive day than usual. Let's say completing 4 out of the 10 tasks for that day, but it's better than a day of 0, which would have been the outcome for a day off. And either way, as an employer, it's costing you wages because you still have to pay them the full wage for the day. Team members are more likely to be willing to come to work during these moments with the understanding that they need not fear being reprimanded or being called out for being slower than usual that day. This increases the value your team members place on their workplace and in turn, their opinion on your company and the culture within it. By setting healthy boundaries with staff and team leaders within the workplace and looking at the productivity of your staff over a week period, you'll be able to evaluate staff's performance at a more informed level than just on that one day. You'll soon discover that staff that are in super or wild mode tend to be way more productive than those in sparkle or bear. Employees that feel valued as a human and not just a wage to pay will be loyal, and most employers find that they'll be more willing to get jobs done through their higher energy modes. Sometimes that might mean having lunch at their desk or working on things outside of work hours, obviously that depends on your industry and what you do, of course. So as you can see, soul modes can increase your productivity, improve staff retention, and in return also save you money on mental health days taken by staff, all while improving your company culture. Staff that love their workplace can't help but talk about it to their circles. Your team members then go out into the public as walking, talking advocates for you and your brand. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm yet to meet someone who hears about Google's policies regarding their stance on staff wellbeing, allowing them to take a nap during the workday if needed, knowing that in turn that clears their mind, reduces stress, and gets them back on track faster for them to not want to work there. I mean, why wouldn't you? Don't you want people thinking of your business and your brand that way? So let me recap. In summary, I can help you to uncover, for the women in the room, the 4 incredible women that lie within you, and for the men, your partners and daughters. I can help you to discover how to hack the modes that make us move forward and stop us from being stagnant. I can help and show you the benefits of adding my program into your leadership training and culture blueprint, meaning that less money is wasted on mental health days taken by staff. Staff that feel valued, understood, and respected will be the result of that. Staff retention will increase, meaning less money is wasted on having to advertise and retrain new staff, and staff productivity increases overall. Your company culture gets raised and staff become your walking, talking marketing team. Remember the Google example from earlier. If someone was going to pay me to have a nap, I'm there. So if you're still wondering about soul modes and if you're going to be able to resonate with it, let me ask you this. Now, a show of hands, if you have done this or if you've seen your partner do this. So there's been one thing in your home that you've been putting off for ages. You decide, right, I'm so sick of how unorganized this cupboard, kitchen, room, shed, whatever the place in your home is. I'm going to get in there today and I'm going to get it done. And you or she does. You pull everything out. You wipe it all over, you vacuum it, and it's looking great. And you start putting everything back in an organized way. And that's when you feel or hear her say, oh God, why did I do this? I don't want to have to put everything all back now. This is the classic wild to bear shift. Pulling it all out and cleaning and sorting through it all filled that wild cup. And so you've shifted into bear mode, and your bear wants nothing to do with that at all. Bear just wants to ignore it all, go and sit down with a cup of tea and engage that selective vision where you can't see the mess, or just make a teenager do it. So let's have a chat if you're interested in beginning a whole new journey in life and business. If you're interested in leveling up your marketing and leadership skills, gain the hacks on how to increase productivity while maintaining the well-being of your team, and no matter the size, or just wanting to make your own life easier and begin to look and live a life that is no longer ruled by days ending in utter emotional exhaustion, then I look forward to connecting with you and discussing how I can support you further. That's me.
Beautiful, thank you. Can you stop share screen, please?
I can.
Yeah, I have a question.
Go ahead.
And it's sort of tongue-in-cheek, but it's real. Are you saying I'm married to 4 women?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we haven't discussed this on a deeper level than that first introduction that you heard. So some of the other characteristics that you'll notice is that we go through energetic shifts. Each of those modes, as we call them, tend to have a little slight different persona because it depends on our energy levels. It depends what's happening in life as well. But some will be more inclined to fulfill marital duties. Some will be way less inclined, and if you look at her with that glint in your eye, she's going to throw something at you. So it is in your best interest to understand how she works and how you can approach things if there are things that need to be discussed or anything that's happening in life, because you'll be able to have a little idea of how she's going to receive you bringing up that topic.
Okay. All right. I mean, you know, there's somebody with 3 ex-wives. I seriously need to learn something. So, but what I find really strange, maybe you can explain this, right? But I have a tendency of getting on better with women than men, and the same in the workforce as well.
Yeah.
So why is that?
Maybe it's just that you identify not necessarily yourself as feminine, but you recognize
Jesus Christ.
But you recognize that sometimes a softer touch is needed to get the job done. Okay. Whereas men tend to go and get this done. I'm not giving you any other instruction. Here's what needs to be done. Go do it. You know how to do your job. Whereas those that kind of are a little bit more kind-hearted, if somebody's in a mode, like you pick up on other people's energies based on their, and Alan would be the first one to agree with this, based on their body language. So if, without realizing it, you're interacting with people that are kind of a little bit feeling like crap, even though they've got a mask on, you're being able to pick that up, that maybe they just need to chat. And women are more likely to do that all the time, whereas men tend to not.
So my next question, this is not meant to sound in any way sexist, derogatory, or whatever, right? But this is what I've noticed in life, right? Okay. So I grew up single mother. I got 2 sisters. I don't think I know about women, but I know how to not get smacked by them, right? Now, what I've noticed is that if 2 women have an argument, it will go on forever. Yeah. But 2 blokes, just get on with it, move on. Yeah. Is that because of all these modes and mood swings? Not moods, no, I think that sounded nasty. But is that because they're either, because some of them will just have a fight and it's done, but then sometimes it'll go on forever, whereas blokes never do that. It can. And while not every woman does that, I'm a little bit more masculine in that part of my life. I would much rather turn around and say, hey, you gave me the shits when you did ABC, get it worked out and move on. So, whereas I know a lot of women are the opposite. And I think you'll find that when they hit bear mode, all of those negative feelings and all of the things that are bothering them that they've suppressed come to the surface. Because if you don't deal with them, you stay still. You need to address what's happening and how you're feeling about things to be able to move forward. So by suppressing it and ignoring it, it just festers and boils because we're in that energy state of feeling like crap. And, oh, that's right, she said this about me and she didn't even say sorry. And that's when it becomes a bigger deal. And I think some women are just, I don't know, they don't communicate in the same way that a man does. A man would turn around and tell you. Whereas women are, I don't know whether they feel like they need to be more polite and, oh, no, I can't, I don't want any confrontation. I just, I'm going to sit here and fester until it gets to the point where it explodes. I think if we just, kind of adopted that process of just saying, look, you said something or did something that really hurt my feelings. I just needed to let you know. I don't think things would get as big as what they do sometimes, but it just depends on the person. And my last question, and then I'll see if anybody else has got any questions. So I'm doing a bit of work at the moment with Dr. Fiona Price, who is the cross multicultural goddess, basically, about how to deal. And you've had phone calls from BBX. We have a lot of cross culture in BBX staffing, right? And I've engaged with her so I can relate better with the different races and everything like that. So these bear modes, are they the same across all the different races and cultures, or is it an Anglo-white thing? No, it does. It's anyone that's feminine based. And that's why I say I'm the Femme Core Mentor, because it's not just about being a woman. It's anyone that is more led by that feminine, softer energy will identify and will find themselves actually cycling through these things. Right. So it's not race-based, it's not moon phase-based, it's not based on anything else other than these are just energetic shifts that go on underneath all of those other things. Beautiful. Okay. Has anybody else got any other questions? No. Lovely. So what we'll do is we will stop the recording.